welcome back to another episode of Expertly Unqualified.
Welcome back, everyone.
We are super excited to have you here today as we have some very important things to discuss, just like every week. And now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have worn this tank top because I blend into the background and I look hella pale, but it's fine. It's totally fine.
Hey, and it's okay. It's the start of the summer.
Yeah, it's the start of the summer. We can only go up from here, right? But before we dive into the episode, we have to do one of our favorite things of the week, and that's our WHAT news of the week. The news you didn't need to know, but now you know, and it's the best news you'll hear all week. So, without further ado, Holly, what are some weekly stats we didn't need to know, but now you know?
I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a chronic workaholic. So I have been working on setting boundaries with work. So it sounds silly, but it feels like a personal victory for me because I said no to picking up 4 different shifts. And people text, not
Wow.
saying that you should never
Honestly,
pick
that
up shifts.
takes a lot of willpower.
And yeah, because I'm not saying you should never pick up shifts because it's like, yeah, you should be a good person, and what comes around goes around, and if you help people, they'll help you. But I was just so burnt out this week, and I wasn't feeling it, so I just accepted that. So little victory,
Good for you.
but I will say I did pick up 1 shift, so I guess 1 out of 5.
That's a good. You probably don't want to score that on a test, but that's a good ratio of saying no versus yes.
But what about you? Do you have any?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so my weekly stat this week is number of snack plates I've made. So I keep seeing this one girl on my feed. I don't even know her name, but all she does is a video of her making a snack plate. And they always look so good. And what I like is there's a wide variety of things. And then say you're doing like cheese and crackers, she doesn't just do one type of cracker. She does like 3 crackers of this type and 4 of the other. So like mix and match to the max. So number of snack plates I've made this week, 2. And yes,
Oh,
I'm an adult, but these are basically Lunchables, but like grown-up Lunchables. So one of I had some Aldi's version of Dots pretzels, but the honey mustard version, some cheese, a pear cup, some raspberries, and some crackers with a salad that I had made and it was left over. So you just toss it all together, eat it. And then earlier today, I made a snack plate and it was honestly top tier. I'm not gonna lie. I will post these pictures because I actually remembered to take pictures this time. In the middle, there were, I think, hot and spicy pickles, like individual Cleveland kitchen bag. It was really good. I got some cheese, some rolled up honey turkey, some cucumber, buffalo pretzel thins, which are amazing, and then a bowl of blueberries and blackberries. And you can't forget the little sweet treat. So I got some peanut M&Ms to round out the entire plate. So that's what I got for this week. Again, food related. Who knew?
no, I really like making little snack plates too. And growing up, I always just called them snack plates, but now I think it's funny because they're trendy little charcuterie boards but I'm
Yeah.
definitely a fan. And I've been buying big packs of charcuterie at Costco and just splitting them up into little Tupperware containers. But
It's
it's
so
very
good too because some days you just don't know what you're hungry for. And then you're like, everything sounds good. And there you go. You can have everything all in one plate in tiny little portions. And if you need more of one thing, you just go back and get it. And I think I like the variety a lot. Because, yeah, I could just eat a sandwich, sure. But why not make it fun? But that brings us to the headlines of the week. Holly, drum roll, please. We have a joint headline of the week. Oh, that's a good drum roll.
so knock on
You
wood.
are listening and watching our 1-year anniversary of the podcast.
Thank you guys for sticking with us and listening for so long.
I can't believe it's been a whole year.
But no, it
That is
definitely has gone by
crazy.
fast. So lots of lessons learned.
Yeah. And if you haven't figured out, that's what our whole episode is about today. And we'll dive into more details about it, but we just thought we'd share it in our headlines because I feel like it's a pretty big headline. Then let's see. Keeping with the WHAT news, we have adulting of the week. What adulting did you do this week?
So I got an oil change, which I think is honestly a pretty big milestone, I will say, because I actually did it before it was a
That's
problem.
like A-tier adulting right there.
But I am lucky though because my car has multiple sensors that say oil life and oil, like, take percentage of, like, how much oil's in it. So, I don't even have to do the dipstick. So, the other thing is I've had my
You're
car for
lucky.
4 years. No, it is really nice
Oh,
though because
nice.
I don't have to think about it. But another one is, I have to get my brakes done. So I've had my car for 4 years and I haven't replaced the brake pads, but I'm finally doing it. I made an appointment, so I'll say that's my adulting for this week.
Nice. You adulted a lot this way. I was gonna say my car doesn't have that sensor, so I'm just going with the flow of things. I'm like, "Are you gonna blow up on me today? Don't know." And I still have that reminder on my phone in all caps of, "Hello, your car will explode if you do not check your oil." But it just got an oil change. But what's funny is my adulting of the week has to do with my car as well. I went to emissions, passed that, and then got the
Oh,
license plate sticker, which is such a scam. Like, why am I paying whatever amount? And then to top it off, because I was at the whatever the office where you do emissions, because I was there, they added a $9 convenience fee. I was like, what is this? There's that. And then I also was running out of like a prescription face wash I have. And part of me was like, "Nah, I'll be fine, like, I'll just wait until I go back to the dermatologist to reorder." And I'm like, "You silly goose, just call the dermatologist's office, and they will probably just be like, 'Sure, here you go.'" And so, believe it or not, I called, and it was funny, I called one number, they're like, "Let me transfer you." And then the next person who answered, they're like, "How can I help you?" So I just repeated the same thing, they're like, "Give me 1 second." They transfer me again. I was like, I guess I called the wrong number, but no, so now that is, yeah, so now it's on its way. So instead of worrying about it and just pushing it off, I did that. And then I have a partial green thumb I can report back. My plants are growing. Rabbits are eating my most expensive flowers, but my garden is going pretty well. So we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. I have to water it later today if I don't
but
forget.
at least it's like bunny approved, you know? That's how you know your stuff's good.
Yeah, I guess they just needed a snack.
I'm actually pretty impressed that, like, you called your doctor because I know that you can do that, but I'm always so scared too, so instead I go into the CVS app and there's a button you can press to make them call your doctor for you.
Okay, I've done that before, but I think because it's like a different
Mm.
company that does the prescription or whatever, since there was no refills left, I think it was
Oh,
just like it just erased the previous prescription or whatever. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll call. But I have definitely used that button. Like, please talk to them because I don't feel like doing it. Hit the easy button. But moving on to the trends of the week. I have two very different trends. Did you have any trends?
okay, so mine's goofy. I recently saw there are new banana bread peanut M&Ms coming soon.
Banana bread, peanut M&Ms.
M Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm very interested. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I want to try.
Good. I mean, they sound interesting. Okay, I'm trying to big trend of the week was I can't remember if it's Denny's or IHOP. It might be Denny's. Maybe it was just a fake one because it's kind of ridiculous. Nope. No. Okay. It's Denny's and they have a new menu. Okay. I don't think you're ready for this. It's for Masters of the Universe movie, which I don't even know what that is. Okay. Masters of the Universe movie. They have a He-Man burger, a breakfast slam, and I don't okay, like I don't even know what maybe it's Marvel. I have never seen a Marvel movie. It's probably wrong. They are serving like the breakfast slam is usually like pancakes, eggs, sausage or bacon, and toast or something like that. They're serving their grand slam with pancakes topped with ice cream.
That sounds so silly. I have to check that out.
It's like, and I think it's like mint chocolate chip ice cream. Fluffy
I'm
buttermilk
not
pancakes crowned with cool mint chocolate chip ice cream drizzled with chocolate sauce. Served with eggs, cooked to order, crispy hash browns, and your choice of bacon or sausage.
That
What
sounds
in
insane.
whose mind? This is like a 3-year-old deciding what they want for breakfast. It's like, what?
Like, the mint chocolate chip ice cream plus eggs is just reminding me of, like, eating breakfast after brushing your teeth, but I do like mint chocolate chip ice cream,
Ew.
but just those together are just silly.
Yeah, and they put them all on one plate, like, I think that makes it worse. I would be intrigued to try ice cream on top of pancakes, and it probably tastes good, but I can't see it with eggs and bacon and hash browns, so Again, I don't know how many people are running over to Denny's, but I just thought I would share that. And then I was gonna say the other trend that came up on my feed was the "wow, okay" trend, and so I sent this over to Holly, and basically, people are just doing, like saying "wow, okay" in, like, 4 different ways and just trying to see if you can, like, catch it. So it's, like, sarcastic or disappointed or whatnot. So I thought it would be fun to do in the point of view of a barista, because the one I sent her was, like, a preschool teacher saying, "Wow, okay," to, like, 4 different scenarios. So I think we should do it together. You go first, and then I'll go, and then we'll see how well we do this. But this is our "wow, okay," and the point of view of a Starbucks barista. And the whole point of it is we're just saying, "Wow, okay," but in a tone in response to these scenarios that Holly came up with, and they are absolutely hilarious. So, Holly, I need you to wow, okay, somebody who ordered a whole drink without you needing to ask a single question.
Wow, okay. Just like
That's pretty good.
and
All right,
like
let's see. I don't
another
know if
one,
I can do this with a straight face.
I always feel too silly to do the clock it. Clock it.
I know you're like, all right. All right, let's see if I can do it. You ordered a whole drink, no questions. Wow. Okay. You're like, dang, this never happens. They know what they want.
Just like when
Okay.
someone comes in and they don't throw garbage everywhere and they throw it away. It's like, "Wow, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, they,
wow."
like, actually act like a normal human being and throw away the garbage. You're like, "Wow, okay." You know? Okay, how about for the customer who tells you their whole life story, while they're in the middle sorry, they tell you their whole life story in the middle of rush hour before they order. So rush is, like or middle of a rush, like, when the most amount of people are coming in and, they're just telling you their whole life story. Alright, go ahead. Let's see it.
Wow, okay.
Oh my gosh, you're just like, all right, let's see if I can get into the mindset. Let me go back. It's been a while since I worked at Starbucks, but it feels just like yesterday in some aspects. All right, let's see. Wow. Okay. People will do that though. They'll like tell you their whole life story and you're like, come on, please order.
Another
Okay,
one.
somebody oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, you can go, you can go.
No, go, go, go.
Okay, so another one that has happened to me, like, a couple times recently. It's like, so when someone comes up to you and starts cussing you out because they say that their drink's not ready yet, but the thing is that you've been calling out their name, which is their actual name from their Starbucks app because they use their app, and you've been calling it out every couple minutes for 20 minutes.
Oh god. All right, let's see it. What do you have to say?
Honestly, I have been going full robot, so this is not I'm a new me, but back in the day, just wow, okay, really, really, really.
I like to really, really, really. And you gotta add that in there because you need the emphasis on that. Okay. How about if somebody orders a drink with like 55 clumps of syrup?
55. So I was gonna ask you this earlier, but have you seen the 55 skit?
No.
I'll send it to you later, but it's from like a Netflix comedy special where they're going through a drive-through and they say 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies. But
Yes.
that
Yes.
one.
I
It's just
remember that.
when they come
But
through
still send
and
it
they
to
go,
me.
"I want a bacon sausage egg wrap. I want 5." Wow. Okay. 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 Calm down.
You're like,
Calm
hold the phone.
down.
Okay. I'm doing it as where somebody looks like they don't like coffee, but they say they like coffee and they're ordering all these pumps. You're like, wow. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I have a couple more that I came up with. Somebody comes up to you and they say, I ordered this ice,
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let me remake that for you. Okay.
even though they probably didn't order it iced.
This is another one that happens on.
Wow, okay.
Okay. This one happens to me all the time when they come up, they're coming in hot, they're mad, and they say like, "Oh, you made my drink wrong. This is wrong." And then I just say, "Okay, wow, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make this for you." And they keep screaming at you, saying, "Why won't you remake my drink?" I'm like, "I'm making it for you right now." They go, "You made it wrong, and you won't remake it for me." And I'm like, "I'm making it right now." Wow. Okay. 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 Just I'm making it right,
So you
but
gotta go like,
okay.
"Okay." Okay, I got 2 more for you. Somebody comes to the drive-through and they mobile ordered point 0.5 seconds ago, and they're like, "I'm here."
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let me get that started for you. Okay.
You're so calm with these. I would be like, "Wow, okay."
To be fair, I did get yelled at. I did get I'm in my full.
I still can't believe somebody would ever scream at you.
Well, because he was asking his wife if she wanted her brown sugar shake and espresso hot or iced, and he was talking to his wife on speakerphone in the drive-through, and I had the audacity of saying, "I'm sorry, that drink only comes iced." So he was talking to his wife. He wasn't. I'm gonna be
Okay,
honest.
we already went over this. You shouldn't be on speakerphone coming through the drive-through.
And how was I supposed to know you were on speakerphone? You're in the drive-through. How was I supposed to know you're talking to your wife? But anyway,
You
so
were just supposed to know.
he was yelling at me. He yelled at my coworker because he didn't have enough money to pay, and the entire time he just looked so anxious. But I was just staring at him, like saying nothing, doing nothing. But I guess I shouldn't do that anymore. But it's just wow. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, last one is when somebody complains and they come up to you and they're like, "Why is Starbucks so expensive?"
Wow. Okay.
I like the little
Like
head tilt. That was great.
for like for an authentically me reaction, I would say, "Yeah, okay." Honestly, like, I don't even shop here, it's expensive, but Dunkin's right down the street. I can't say that. I get in so much trouble.
We don't even go here, but go down the street because
They
Dunkin's
had
cheaper.
buckets. I think they're out of the Dunkin' buckets, though.
I did see that. I should have got a bucket, but do you know how long you'd have to pee? Like you would just be in the bathroom all day.
So, when I opened the day that they launched the buckets, so one of my coworkers got a bucket, but honestly, I didn't because I know I would have dropped it. I would've.
Me too. If you guys have no idea what we're talking about, Dunkin' did this a while ago, but then just brought it back. They're giving out, like, you could purchase a bucket as the size of your iced coffee. So it was 48 ounces of coffee in a little bucket that you could order. You'd be running on Dunkin' for days.
Like, literally running on Dunkin'. But it was
It
really
probably would
funny
suppress your appetite for like a week.
because he got it, he started chugging, and then he topped it with cold foam and caramel drizzle, which was so like,
That
imagine a
sounds so
bucket
good.
topped with cold foam and caramel drizzle. I will say it did look really good.
It's like a half a pitcher of cold foam on top.
So I think I am considering buying my own bucket just in a sturdier container.
You know what we should do? You know those like little buckets you can now get at like Lowe's, like they're miniature versions of a 5-gallon bucket. Just start doing
I
that.
just, I need to check those out because that sounds cute.
Oh my gosh. But we hope you enjoyed our trends of the week and the wow, okay,
Wow. Okay.
section of the podcast. Hopefully if you're listening you can sense the way our eyes were rolling back and our head was tilting, and hopefully you can feel that through listening. But today is a very special episode. It is our 1 year anniversary of the podcast. So we originally started dropping our podcast June 1st of 2025. This will come out May 31st. So we're one day off, but we can celebrate a little bit early. But we just thought we would kind of dive back into like a year in review, kind of tell you what's happening for year 2. So don't you worry, we're not going anywhere. We hope you aren't either. Something random that just came to my head was when we posted that first episode. Holly, I don't know if you remember this, but we were trying to like figure out how to record, what sort of software to use. We had the topic down. We were saying what your coffee order says about you. We had it down. Do you remember we had to record it 3 different times
Yeah, but
before we finally posted it?
it was like writing an essay, your trial, like your first draft, and we are figuring things out. But honestly, like we've gotten it down to a science now. We've streamlined it.
Yes, we streamlined it so much we go off script. We go off outline. That's if we go off outline, and that's if we have an outline. That's how expertly unqualified we are. But let's just run through a few things, and then we'll talk about year 2. So obviously, we started this podcast with 0 credentials, and we're still here. So let that be a lesson that you could be expertly unqualified and still have a product, still produce something. Like Holly mentioned, we just want to thank you all so much for listening. If you follow us, if you've liked a post we've made or liked a video, every little thing means a lot to us. So we just want to say thank you. Obviously, we would do it without you guys. and we generally didn't know if anyone would listen besides, like, our moms, so it's nice to know that more than just our moms are listening. Let's
At the
see,
same
within
time,
that
big shout out to Caroline's mom for supporting us too. I know you're listening.
but looking back, let's see. So we have posted a total in 1 year. This will be our 45th episode. So I feel like that's pretty darn good. We did a few solo sessions. We had some guest stars. We did it all. And honestly, I would love to sit here and be like, my favorite episode was this. The funniest thing was this. I'm not gonna lie, once I record the episodes with you and post it, I can't even tell you what we talked about last week. I'm like, all right, moving on. What's happening?
But I
I
feel
don't know
like
if
some of
that's a
the
good
best
thing or a bad thing.
I it could be a good thing though, because some conversations, like, I really think that, like, brain dump some of the best, where you're just, like, spitting it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I feel like the more in the moment episodes are super fun to kind of track like what's happening in our lives and what we're seeing. But I do love talking a whole lot about customers and coffee. So those were always fun episodes. And honestly, if you got a microphone, you can just chit chat about literally anything. And I think that's the best thing about our podcast is that we don't tie ourselves down into a certain category. We're kind of all over the place. Like if you saw a squirrel, like that's how our podcast kind of goes. And I think that's one of the best parts.
And honestly, I probably have ADHD, but,
Me
you
too.
know, so it's just the way my mind goes.
You know, you got to deep dive into our brains, which is probably a little bit scary sometimes, but that's okay.
And honestly, this
Um
past year, I really did enjoy talking about the coffee and Starbucks episodes too, because I think that, like, I've worked at Starbucks so long now that a lot of it just, like, blends together. And, like, I feel like sometimes I just forget that things happen. So it's always funny to, like, go back and look back and just be like, "What happened?" You know?
yeah, it's almost like a little time capsule for us to go back and be like, "Oh yeah, you know what, we were discussing this," or it's just interesting to see how much you can grow and all the things in your life and how they shape you to kind of see where you're at. I think one of the weirdest things for me was like actually like recording with you was so easy. Like we're just chit chatting, we're having a good time. But thinking about posting that and having other people listen and see me, or even cringier, how they don't know if this happened. You like hear your own voice, you're replaying it, somebody's
Yeah.
playing it, and you're like, I sound like that? Let me talk a little deeper so I don't sound like that.
No, same, because I think that your voice is perfectly normal and fine, but, like, I definitely agree because I think, like, a lot of people say I have a very recognizable voice, so I'm always, like, very, like, "Oh my gosh." I, like, try not to listen to myself talk.
And I think for both of us, we're not ones who like post a lot or I don't like before this I literally didn't really have any social media, which probably saved me a lot of time. But it's just kind of fun to almost Hannah Montana it of like it's just me, but I'm like, oh here, look at my snack plate because I know everybody wants to see it. And then you just hope somebody out there kind of relates to it, or whether it's a dad joke or just an opinion. Like when I was talking about trying to send me to Lowe's is like sending a guy to Sephora. Like just stupid stuff that I think is hilarious. And I think that people relate to it a lot. So hopefully you have found that the podcast is pretty relatable. I'm trying to even think back of yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned with us having the podcast is that it kind of helped me get away from being perfect with everything of like what needs to be posted at this time. We need to have an outline. I need to say this stuff. That's kind of gone out the window. And like we've mentioned in the past different episodes, that I think consistency is key. We're very true to who we are. We're not putting on a show for you guys. I mean, one day maybe we will, you know, but if you met us in real life, I would definitely say we sound just like we would on the podcast, which I think is kind of fun. And then like even everything that we post, it's all just us, and I love that.
Like, I really agree because, like, I've been in school so long and I've worked so long that it's most of, like, the things I do are graded, so I get, like, performance anxiety. So it's kind of nice to just, like, have a hobby where you're not being graded. So I think that's also been like a big thing I'm working on. It's like letting go of the perfectionism to like get things done because I'm self-destructive perfectionist, which isn't good, which isn't good. So it's been nice for me to like just learn how to strike balance.
Yeah. And I think too that a lot of times, like, I mean, I thought about doing a podcast probably for like a whole year and just did nothing about it. But I think taking that first step is so huge because part of it, like in the back of your mind, you're like, what if people don't like the podcast or what you post or I don't know. You just start thinking about that and it's like, who cares? We have fun doing it. We talk about whatever the hell we want. And hopefully we post funny, relatable stuff. And if our Instagram post gets 3 views, who cares? I think it's just important putting yourself out there and just being true to who you are. And hopefully that'll take us pretty far into year 2. But I could imagine there's a lot of podcasts that start and probably don't make it as far as we've gotten.
But hey, I guess the important thing is that you're just having fun too, So
Yeah. I feel like life is too serious. You gotta have something silly playing in your ears. We can be your bad influences. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to think of I mean, maybe we could do a deep dive into exactly what our favorite episodes were, but I think overall it's just been such a fun time and we're going to continue being us. So hopefully if you enjoy this, you'll stick with us. We do have some exciting things for year 2, but before I jump there, Holly, was there anything else you wanted to add?
no, I'm ready to jump into year 2.
Okay, year 2. You did such a good drum roll before. I just hope it's
So, going from the top, so there's going to be some changes, all good, all exciting, but the first being we're going to retire WHAT News. Just a little bit. We can do it as a
but not
sub-segment,
fully.
but not fully. It'll still
Not
be there,
fully.
but we're going to have
It's still
a
be
new
there.
segment, a new opening segment.
Yes. So we thought it would be fun that each week throughout the month, so like the first weekend of June, well, it won't count for June, but like the first weekend of the month, it's going to be under this category. The second weekend of this month will be under this category. So we're switching it up every week. We are putting our WHAT news to our walk and talk. So here's what we're thinking. Again, nothing's set in stone because when is it ever? Let me pull it up. So 1 week will be what's currently consuming us. You know, what books are we reading? What shows are we watching? What trends are we looking at? Things we're loving, things we're hating, anything in that category. And if you saw my Instagram post, I guess it was 2 weekends ago, I gave you a little taste of what it might look like. Then the next week is anything and everything adulting because we pride ourselves on a podcast to describe what adulting is like in the real life. And yeah, it's hard to be an adult. So anything that falls into the adulting category. The next week will be Midwest Girl Hour. Whoop, whoop. Anything weather related, anything dealing with the Midwest. Maybe we'll talk about Culver's for a whole episode. Who knows? But anything that falls into that category, road tripping, it's just coming from our roots, We're Midwest
And
girlies. You got to hear more about the Midwest
honestly,
if you're not from here.
I feel like I do lots of little silly, goofy local things, so I think it'll be very fun to just share my little silly, goofy local experiences too.
Exactly. And then finally, the last one would be walk and talk, which we've done before. And this is where our WHAT news will be thrown in there. And it's just catching up. What have we been up to? What are we looking forward to? Maybe this will be kind of like the joy list thrown in there. And then if for whatever reason there's 5 weekends, because I think July has 5 weekends, just with how it's organized, whatever. We'll throw in a surprise episode of something. But we're super excited to kind of change up the format. Again, we're not changing anything that we're doing. We're just kind of categorizing each week. So maybe your favorite is when we discuss adulting. Obviously, we want you to listen to every single podcast episode, but maybe you can just jump to adulting and you can become an adult. And then one other announcement is that we're gonna take a little summer break. So we won't be posting, let's see, we won't be posting June 6th or nope, sorry, June 7th or June 14th. we are taking a little summer break, but we will be back on the 21st, which is Father's Day. And I remember last year's Father's Day episode, we just did a bunch of dad jokes. So maybe that's coming up. But we just wanted to update you guys. We are excited to kind of change up the format, and hopefully you are excited as well. And that we will be on summer break for like 2 weeks of June. But don't worry, we're coming back. Coming.
And just like we had like our little winter break, we had like a lot of content after, like a lot of new things to share, a lot of updates. So it'll be exciting. So
But I
looking
think
forward.
that did you have just don't worry, we are not getting rid of our rant or advice because I feel like you always need a rant every week. Is there any rant or expertly unqualified rant or expertly unqualified advice you have for this week?
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a rant or an advice, but I'm going to it. So basically, I like biking a lot. I have been a very avid bicycler. Not right now, but I used to bike over 10 miles a day. Just so I think that
Not me pulling
bikers,
the oh wow.
wow. But anyway, I think that like bicyclists are so controversial and they get into so many fights social, there's like expectations and norms of sharing the street. And like honestly, like as someone who likes bicycling, sometimes I'm embarrassed of the bicycling community, the cycling community.
Do better.
But, recently I was driving, and I was just, like, going on, like, a nice little neighborhood stroll, but I saw 2 people biking together, and they were really nice bike lanes. They were paved, and there was, like, a barrier between the bike lane and the real lane. There were no cars in the bike lane, and they were biking side by side in the middle of the street. We're like, "Why are you guys doing that?" And they were not wearing helmets. So, I don't know why that really just got to me, but it's, like, also so, like, this is another thing, like, I think that okay, I have a controversial opinion on this one. Illinois recently made it legal that bicycles can do rolling stops at stop signs. So it's like, I know, it's like but when you're on a bike, like you are so much less protected against cars. And like, I know, like, as someone who also drives, like, obviously you should always put the pedestrian's lights first, biker's lights first. But at the same time, it's like, why are you intentionally driving in traffic when there are other options not wearing a helmet? Like, why would you be blowing off a stop sign because you're on a bike? Like, I know that you legally can, and I know that it's no fun to stop and look if you see no one's there, but at the same time, it's like cars can like kill you. But that's my random advice for this week.
I feel it always gets me. I can understand if there's no sidewalk or anything, sure, use the road, stay to the side. It's the worst when you can't like pass them, so you have to go like 5 miles an hour behind them. But for the true like bikers, who are riding a bunch, they have like the whole outfit or whatever, like sure. But when
Yeah,
there's an open lane right there, you're like,
yeah.
come on. I don't have a rant for this week, but I have two pieces of advice.
All
One
right.
is now that it's getting hotter out, this is just a little tip trick. You probably keep a blanket in your car over the winter in case your car stalls out. You got a blanket, right? Keep that blanket in your car throughout the summer because when you go to the store or you're out and you leave your car in the sun, your seats are going to be
Ooh,
flipping burning hot. You're wearing shorts and a tank top or whatever, you can't even sit down. Put the blanket over your seat to block the sun so that you can actually sit down and not sizzle to death like a skewered chicken. I'm kidding.
but yeah,
You don't want to be a human kebab.
that's like one of the instances where I'm honestly happy that I have fabric seats because they burn so bad. Like I used to do that too growing up. We would put towels or like blankets down so you don't stick and burn to the seat, but definitely good advice.
Then my other advice is go out and talk to people and make the plans. Okay, summertime is here, which is awesome. For example, I was talking with my neighbor. We both like walking. Boom, we set up a plan to walk in the mornings. If I told myself I'm gonna go for a walk before work in the morning, you know what happened is I would hit snooze. I wouldn't get out of bed. I'd be like, Psh, whatever. Now that I know my neighbor's walking with me, I'm like, all right, I'm waking up 15 minutes earlier. Like, let's go. It's so stupid because I wouldn't be able to just have the motivation to go out myself. But when you add somebody else, they're like, all right, can't let them down. I can let myself down all I want, but can't let them
Honestly,
down.
the routine really does help though, I will say. The routine doesn't.
Yeah. So if you're waiting to text somebody, if you want to start a walking club, a run club, Just go do it. Now's the time. What are you waiting for? And when you go back to your parents, you say, "Yeah, I started run club." You know what they're gonna say, Holly? They're gonna say,
What?
"Wow, okay."
Wow, okay.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Expertly Unqualified on our 1 year anniversary.
And then thank you again, everyone.
And we will catch you guys. Let's see. We'll catch you guys in a few weeks because we're on our summer break. Don't you forget. I'll see what I can post. We'll see. Maybe
And
a full break.
I I hope you guys enjoy, your summer break too. You guys should go have fun, relax. Take a break. Take a
Yeah,
break.
have fun. All right. Well, I'll chat with you all later.
Right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That's a wrap on our episode of Expertly Unqualified. If you stuck around this long,
You're either extremely loyal, extremely bored, or extremely caffeinated. Either way, we love that for you.
make sure to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review if you laughed, related, or were personally attacked by something we said. Find new episodes and more on our website, thepodmates.com.
And don't forget, follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Expertly Unqualified. Send us your stories, questions, or weird hot takes. You might just hear them on a future episode.
We are, as always,
Expertly Unqualified. Conversation's so fun, you'll forget we have no idea what we're doing.
was a Podmates production.